your pencil, make it quick. To do it right, he'll show the trick. Come and draw with Nick. He'll show you how to draw a face or a rocket flying into space, an elephant dancing on a wire, or an odd dog with his pants on fire. Hey, come and draw with Nick. Grab your pencil, make it quick. Do it right, he'll show the trick. Come and draw with Nick. 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 Come and draw with Nick.
Welcome, legends, to this very special Come and Draw with Nick. Hey, but before we start, I need to make sure something. Do you have your pencil or your draw sword? Do you have your paper? Because I need you to come with me as we draw some epic animals. This is a super special event. So special, in fact, that we are going to draw some of the most amazing animals you've ever seen in your life. All right. I love animals. I've got two animals. I've got more than two animals. I've got two dogs. I've got two cats, and I've got a turtle. Right. But they're not as epic as the animals that we're about to see. I don't know if you've ever drawn epic animals before. This might be your first time, but we are going to cross now to an equally as epic person, Michael from Black Snake Productions, who has these epic animals. Are you there, Michael? Mike.
Hey, mate. How are you? Hi, everyone.
Mate. Thank you so much for being part of this live feed, and I forgot to explain a few things. Now, we're going to help the animals today. We're going to help Mike out with all the animals out there. Because of COVID, it's been a bit hard for the legends out there at Black Snake Productions. You know, they can't get out to schools. They can't get out to Bunnings and show their animals. So if you draw a picture today, put the screen up, Tarly, my little assistant. For the first 25 pictures you draw, and you email it to laugh@nicklovecartoons.com.au, or you post it on my socials, you can donate $2 to these epic animals. So get your pens, get your paper, and start drawing with me. All right, let's see Mike's face again. Awesome. All right, like I said, we are going to draw top 5 animals. Charlie, we keep face. That's just silly. Anyway, we're going to draw top 5 epic animals. Just before we start, Mike, we'll have a bit of a chat. Tell us about what you do and how you go about it.
So we, have a range of native animals, all kinds of Australian wildlife, and go to schools and events and festivals and all kinds of stuff. But, obviously with COVID, we're not allowed to go and visit anyone. So,
well, this is the exact reason why we're crossing out to you. We had talks about coming out there and seeing the animals and drawing them live. But because we can't get out there, we're using the magic of technologicalness to cross out to be able to see the animals. So what is our first animal today? And as you're showing me, I'll get a new piece of paper.
Our first animal today is Roger.
Oh, look at him. He's so gorgeous. All right. Charlie, you want to have a closer look at Roger? Give him the full screen.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a bit about Roger, Mike.
Roger is one of our dingo pups. So Roger here is an alpine dingo. He's about 8 weeks old at the moment. And so he's one of the little boys we're going to be keeping from the litter. A few of the others have already gone to wildlife parks, and he's running around causing all kinds of mischief this morning. So luckily he's a bit tired for this nice little drawing session. He can chill out, but they've been running around the house causing all kinds of mischief.
Do you reckon he'll ever eat a baby?
No. These guys are actually pretty awesome. These are pets, so they're really friendly, very gentle. The adults might lick a baby to pieces, just with love, but then they've never actually hurt anyone. So they're really cool like that. So dingoes in captivity are actually pretty awesome animals.
Now, if someone was watching at home, Are they allowed to keep the dingo as a pet?
Look, you are allowed to keep dingoes in Victoria as pets. The problem is they do require a license, and that license has some conditions on it. So for us to keep a pair of dingoes, we have a very big dingo enclosure, and that enclosure has fences that are 3 meters high. They're not only 3 meters high, it's got wire under the ground so they can't dig tunnels and dig out, and that's a couple of meters into the enclosure. And we've got double doors on that enclosure so they can't just run off, because dingoes, as much as they love us and they're a beautiful part of our family, very independent. So if they want to run away, they will, and they won't always listen to us.
So they literally go back into dingo.
Yeah. So, and he can hear a chicken outside, and he's looking at that right now going, I want that for dinner. So, you know, they're an animal that's never allowed off leash ever outside of their enclosure. So you can take your dogs to a leash-free park and let them run around. You are absolutely not allowed to do that with a dingo. So there's a few requirements with them in Australia and Victoria, as pets, just for their safety and, you know, other dogs' safety, because dingoes aren't dogs. They're canine like dogs, but they're not actually dogs. So
what would you say is the best thing about a dingo as opposed to, say, a wolf from America?
Oh, these guys are so affectionate, it's not funny. They just want cuddles all the time. They're very loving, they're very loyal. You're part of their pack. So they're very cool like that. They are a semi-domesticated breed of canine, whereas a wolf would never really make a good pet. A dingo can make a good pet, but they're a lot more work than a dog, a lot more work. So he's only a pup at the moment. When he gets older, he'll be walking over the kitchen bench on top of the fridge, and we can tell him off, and he'll probably just sit there and look at us and go, no, I'm not going to move. I don't want to. So they're a lot like a cat in many ways as well. They got that personality of a cat where they kind of just do what they want.
So here we have our first epic animal. So the screen, we have, oh look, Roger's got a bit more hair up the top here. He's so cute. Paws a bit like that. All right, guys, I would love to see your version of a dingo. And like I said, if you show us via the socials or via email, you get to donate $2 to these epic animals. And you also go into the running to win one of the pictures. So if you show us a picture of a dingo, you go in the running to win this picture of Roger, the dingo. What an absolute legend. Thank you, Roger. Thanks for your time. What a great model. All right,
there you go, Dodgy Rogie. Off he runs to destroy some curtains.
All right, we are up to epic animal number 2, which is what, Mike?
Fredo.
Fredo.
Whoop, come here, Fredo. Whoop. Fredo decided to jump down. Hang on, 2 seconds. This is what happens when you work with animals. Oh.
We're just waiting for Fredo.
There he is.
Look at that little guy.
He's not so little. Fredo is actually a very, very large green tree frog. There we go. So he's a very big green tree frog. And I have to say, this is one of my favourite individual animals. We have quite a few green tree frogs here at Black Snake Productions, but Fredo is a long time pet at Black Snake Productions. He's actually been with me since I was 16 years old. And I'm only 26 now. No, I'm just joking. So I'm in my late 30s now. So I've had Fredo for quite a long time. So he's a very, very old frog. He's about 22 years old or so. So he's a pretty awesome little green tree frog. He's actually so large, we feed him mice. So he's a carnivore. He doesn't eat vegetables. He eats other animals. And most of those animals are insects and bugs, but he is so big, he actually gets a mouse every now and then. And what's really gross about frogs is when they swallow their food, they invert their eyeballs and use their eyeballs to push the food down their throat, which is really bad table manners. Unfortunately, Fredo is a bit old, and you can see on that eye there, he's gone a little bit blind in that eye, and that's just due to his old age. But he still doesn't miss his food, picks it up with his tongue. There you go.
All right, we're drawing Fredo. Now, if I was to accidentally cut Fredo open, would he be made of chocolate?
No, no, you wouldn't want to eat one of these guys. In fact, they actually have glands on the back of their head here, and that can produce sort of like a sunscreen or a bit of a toxin, a very slight toxin. It's not dangerous to humans, but it could be dangerous to other animals. Some frogs in Australia are more potentially toxic than others. In fact, kids, really good idea not to touch frogs in the wild for a couple of reasons. We can spread diseases that can wipe out other frogs. We could make them sick because they breathe and drink through their skin. And if you have chemicals on your hand, like sunscreen, they'd be like us drinking sunscreen. That's pretty gross. But also, when I was in primary school, I used to play with frogs all the time. I went to a school called Birmingham Primary in Mount Evelyn. And I used to catch frogs in the ponds and drains, and I rubbed my eyes once and I couldn't see that eye for about a day and a half because of the slime covering the frog's skin. Didn't do too well in my eyeball. So very important not to touch wild animals. I learnt that pretty early on.
So if we accidentally we touch animals and stuff and we might kill them and they might croak.
They might croak it, that's right. A frog might croak it if you touch them and you've got chemicals on your hands because these guys are very sensitive to things in the environment.
Right, so here we have, he's up in a tree, waving everybody. Got some bush around it. He's looking down on the nice Yarra River. Oh, where would you find Fredo in the wild?
So Fredo is actually a tropical species. They are found in arid areas, but more north of Victoria. So you find them in northern New South Wales, Queensland, Northern Territory, and across the top of Western Australia as well. Behind me, I actually have some little tree frogs in this big tank here, and they're found locally. We have some little Perrin's tree frog, and they sound like someone screaming when they croak. So it's not a very nice noise. They're called the cackling frog.
So we wouldn't find Fredo in the Yarra. What river would we find him near?
Probably near the Brisbane River in Queensland, near Brisbane. Some of the rivers in northern Queensland or northern New South Wales. There's the Riverina area just in northern New South Wales there. They're quite common. So they do prefer to live in areas that are a bit more humid, a bit warmer.
Put the tiny in Brisbane River. We'll just get a bit more of a darker outline.
It's a bit cold here in Victoria for them.
A bit cold for everyone.
Yeah, it is today.
All right, there is picture number 2. Fredo, he's having a great time in his tree near the Brisbane River. He's gone on holiday because I don't know, frogs can't get corona, can they?
No, frogs can't get corona. But one problem frogs do get is a lot of pollution. So they have a lot of issues getting pollution from the environment, from us. So we've got to clean up after ourselves.
41 views. That's awesome. There's 41 people tuning in. So that must mean there's 41 people out there with paper and pencils drawing these epic animals for this special event. I don't know about you, but I'm having heaps of fun. What else?
We've got a pretty special animal now to have a look at, actually.
What is it, Mike?
This is Kimberly.
Oh,
Kimberly. Oh, the rough scale python.
She's looking at me. Hi, Kimberly. You gonna look at the camera and say hi to everyone? Oh, she can't really say hi.
I don't mind snakes, but they kind of weird me out a bit because they've got no legs, right? How do they move so fast without having any legs?
They're all muscle. So, you know, when I was younger, I had a 106 pack. Sorry, I had a 6-pack. Now she's got a 106 pack. I got no 6-pack. I got a slab now. These guys here, the rough-scaled python, they are all muscle. So this beautiful belly of theirs, all muscle, the whole body. They can use their ribs and the muscle, contracting it to climb. Now she is actually, you're going to climb my face there, she's what we call an arboreal species. That means she climbs trees. So this arboreal species of snake lives well off in the ground and climbs up the vines and the rainforest plants in the big cavernous gorges in the Kimberleys. So she likes to live in big valleys or gorges, rocky gorges in the Kimberleys, hence her name, Kimberly. And this is an endangered species because these guys have been around for thousands and thousands of years And over time, their home has slowly changed. So unfortunately, as Australia's become a drier place, the rainforests they've lived in right across the top of Australia have only now been found. You can only find those rainforests in the Kimberley. So they've been isolated to those areas. And these guys have some of the longest teeth of any python in Australia. And what they do is they hang from vines like this. And when a fruit bat or a small bat or a rat runs along a branch, they grab it out of the middle of the air, and they can use those big, long, sharp teeth to hang on. And then they kill their prey like this. I'll show you how they kill their prey. They wrap around their prey and they constrict it to death. They squeeze it to death like that. So that's how they kill their prey. These are not venomous. They don't use venom to kill their prey. So she's harmless. Thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah. So does Kimberly have like the pointy bits out of the tongue? Like they go that way? Yeah.
Yeah. She has a forked tongue, and that's her steering wheel. She uses her forked tongue to sense in which direction she needs to go. So if she smells a nice juicy rat on this side, she'll move more to the right hand there. She smells a nice juicy rat on her left hand side, she'll move more to the left. So she's flicking that out, seeing in which direction she needs to go to find those juicy rats, fruit bats, and other animals to eat for her dinner. She's pretty cool, this little girl. In fact, the rough scale python is the only python in the whole world that has scales that are not soft and smooth, but are rough like sandpaper. So we're going to do some home improvement later and rub her against the veranda. What do you reckon, Nebs?
I don't know. I think Kimberly's found some dinner. Drawing. This rat looks a bit too happy. I think this rat thinks he's found a friend. But
she loves all the rats. All the rats she meets, she gives them nice big cuddles.
Yeah. That's all. All right, draw. It's got some lovely texture. I'll try to draw the texture in as best I can. So you said she's found out in the Kimberleys, at the Rocky Gorges and stuff?
Yep, in Western Australia.
So we'll draw some.
This is a very rare snake, this one.
If you leave the heater on too long, does it become medium rare?
Unfortunately, there's not many of these guys left in the wild.
Draw some more rocks in. And remember, guys, if you're going to sign your picture, sign your name. My name's Nick. If your name's not Nick, don't sign Nick. Very important. So there we have Kimberly, the rough scale python. My daughter then. Oops.
Very good.
Made friends with a rat that's going to become tonight's dinner. Happy days. All right. We are cooking today. We might need to slow down.
We have to make sure Kimberly's away for this next time, because I tell you what, this next animal's been very noisy the whole time I've been trying to talk. She eats snakes and birds and rats.
Is that a dog that's barking?
No, we all our dogs. Oh, what's she doing? She's being a rat bag. Come on. Come on, Kalina. Sit up. There's a girl. Oh, can you see yourself, Kalina? Oh, who's that?
Oh, look at that. That is an epic animal right there. Gorgeous.
You're going to behave yourself? All right, so this is Kalina. There we go. Put Kalina a bit closer so you can have a look at yourself there, Kalina. She's very interested in her own reflection. Now, Kalina here is a barking owl. So that wasn't a dog we were listening to. That was her going, woo, 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 woo. You going to do it for us again today? No? Whoop, whoop. No, she's a bit spooked by the picture of herself. She's never seen herself like that. Now, Kalina, the barking owl, is once again, unfortunately, just like our rough-scale python, this is an endangered species. So barking owls have declined by 80 to 90% across Victoria due to habitat loss. And that's for farming. Obviously, we need to grow our food, but we've cut down so many of their trees, and also for logging, for paper, and for other wood materials. So unfortunately, she's lost most of her home, and these guys are now an endangered species. Owls like this are really important though, because these guys help to eat rats and mice around farms and reduce rodent numbers around our houses. But look how big her eyes are. Those stunning eyes are used to actually help find her food in the dark. So she can see about 20 times better than we can in the dark. Also, her ears are not at the same level. One ear is higher than the other, and that allows her to pinpoint her food with 100% accuracy in the dark by just using sound. She's also got these very large talons. Look at those claws there. And those claws, those talons, are used to kill the prey she catches, such as birds, reptiles, and small mammals and marsupials. In fact, these guys are really well known for attacking birds when they're sleeping at night, and they love to eat other birds, such as bronze-winged pigeons, the native bird, and magpies and lorikeets and things like that. So barking owls are still doing pretty well in Queensland and northern New South Wales, but unfortunately in Victoria, they're having a bit of a rough time of it.
Now, did I hear right? Did you say the owl eats magpies?
Yeah, they might eat magpies and other birds, yeah.
I tell you what, any bird that can eat a magpie, whether it's the footy player or the actual bird, is a friend of mine.
Ah, well, they are the best footy team, so we can't deny that.
Oh,
Black and white, mate, black and white.
Right, so here we have Kalina, the barking owl. I've drawn, which is going woof woof. Now, there's this thing about owls that makes them wise. You know how, like, in every library you see an owl that they're wise. What makes the perception of an owl being wise?
I actually don't know, because they're not the most. They're not the smart. They're really not the smartest birds. Some of my owls do some pretty silly stuff. We have cockatoos and other parrots, and they're a lot smarter than the owls. That's for sure. I think it's just their consistent staring at us all the time. But
Right.
yeah, they're definitely not the most intelligent birds of prey, but they are still up there.
So I thought they read books or something, but all right, apparently not. I can't believe it. We are that is such an epic animal. Like, look at the feet. What do you call them? The feet on the
Talons.
Talons. They're amazing.
Yeah, this is why we've got the big glove on, because otherwise they'd be going straight through my my thumb there.
All right, we have made it all the way to number 5. Can it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count. I can draw. The last animal possession. What is it?
We'll just pop her away. She's being a bit of a rat bag. There we go. And we're going to get Fluffy out. Who wants to meet Fluffy?
I'd love to meet Fluffy. I was let out what it is, Charlie, on the slide.
I don't know if anyone can guess what Fluffy is, but Fluffy is definitely not Fluffy, which is why she's called Fluffy. Fluffy is instead quite snappy. Oh, there you go.
What a croc. That is amazing.
So Fluffy is a freshwater crocodile.
Freshwater. All right, let's start
Johnson's crocodile.
Draw the eyes. Whilst I'm drawing, Mike can tell us.
So Fluffy here, the freshwater crocodile. There we go. We got a whole body in shot there. This is one of our favourite little crocs, Fluffy here. She's been with us for quite a while. We don't tape her mouth up because she's actually pretty friendly for a crocodile. Do you know that these crocs can go through about 80 sets of their teeth over about 50 to 100 years of their lifetime, and they can do that about 50 times. So these guys have teeth that will grow back when they fall off or they break off. You can see those very fine, sharp teeth there are used to actually catch fish and small aquatic prey. She's also got these awesome things on her back called osteoderms, these hard little plates on her back. And that is actually her armor, and that protects her from other crocodiles. One of the biggest threats to young freshwater crocodiles like Fluffy is actually cannibalism from other crocodiles, but mostly saltwater crocodiles. So they will actually eat the smaller species of freshwater crocodile. Now, freshwater crocodiles like this girl here don't actually eat people at all. These guys eat smaller animals, as I mentioned, whereas the saltwater crocodile or estuarine crocodile will actually eat larger animals like water buffalo, feral pigs, turtles, tourists, and things like that. Now, we don't recommend you have Fluffy as a pet. Maybe things like the dingo are pretty cool, or even a pet frog or a snake. But crocodiles can be quite dangerous. They're definitely not something we ever want to keep in our swimming pool in the backyard. Very cool animals, but one of the things I love about these guys is have a look at that eyeball. She actually has a nictating membrane. So what that means is that membrane across the eye, she's got a see-through, there it goes, a see-through membrane that can go across the eye and actually act like a pair of goggles underwater. And then she's got the top and lower eyelid just like us. Oh, there we go. Fluffy's pretty cool. Pretty snappy though. Oh, don't wiggle.
Look at that. And so what I've drawn Fluffy with two toothbrushes because she's got so much teeth she needs to do twice the amount of work as we do. So she's got two toothbrushes there. We'll draw the feet, big claws, the feet. And then the massive tail. Now the tail had those little spiky things on them.
They're called scoots.
Called scoots. I was about to say that. Scoots. And Fluffy's just hanging out by the Yarra because she's local.
You know, we were called to a crocodile in the Yarra in the city once.
Yeah.
The news, the news team was there and police were rocking up and we got there and it was one of those floating pond ornament heads you get, little crocodile heads that float around your pond. And everyone thought it was real and they were freaking out.
It was literally a croc.
Yeah, it was like a fake one, like a fake polystyrene head. I have tricked a few people and down at the beach picking up rubbish, we found someone's old dead croc shoe on the ground and said, I can't post a photo. There's no reception at the moment, but I found a dead crocodile on the beach. And all my reptile friends were losing their minds because you don't find crocodiles in Victorian beaches until I put the photo up. And they thought I was very funny. It was a very good dad joke.
All right, we have come to the end of our epic animal session. This has been so much fun. Let's do a quick recap on the 5 animals. Animal number 1, what was it?
Roger.
Roger the dingo.
Roger the dingo. Where's the picture? Here we go. There's Roger the dingo right there. Woof, woof. Oh, get him on screen. Then we had, what was the next one? Tarly? Yeah, tuck the screen up.
Oh.
The frog. We had Freddo. There's Freddo. Rid it. And then picture number 3. Oh, Kimberly the python with her dinner. I've got to remember to go the opposite way that I need to go. There we go.
I know, I kept doing that too.
And then animal number 4 was Kalina, the beautiful owl.
And that's Indigenous for love.
Indigenous for love. So I could be Kalina, Nick Kalina Cartoons. And then the last epic animal was Fluffy. Fluffy is an amazing croc. Look at her. Oh, it's worth the price of admission. All right, so remember, guys, that if you draw one of these epic animals and you post it on my socials or you email it to laugh@nicklovecartoons, $2 for the first 25 cartoons go straight to them. And you also go into the running of winning one of these cartoons. And you're also up to win one of these lolly bags from the Warburton Candy Emporium. So why not get on board, get drawing, have some fun, and most of all, love our native wildlife. Our native wildlife is some of the best wildlife in the world. We are so blessed to have the most amazing animals here in Australia. So make sure you look after them. Big shout out to Michael. Thank you so much for having us in your menagerie of animal land that you have out there.
No
And if
problem.
you want to buy Black Snake Productions, you can jump onto their website or you can follow them on Facebook. Yeah, they're doing a lot of live videos and stuff. There was one on turtles yesterday. I love turtles. We've got a turtle, don't we, Charlie?
Yeah.
You know, learn a lot. Something about your fingernails being their shell. Learn something about that. So follow Black Snake Productions. And when we can have parties and stuff, make sure you get them out because, you know, who wouldn't want a croc at their 21st? I know I would if I was turning 21, which is probably next week. All right, so thanks again, Mike. And
No problem.
yeah,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, love your animals, and yeah, we'll chat again soon. Thanks, mate.
Sorry.
Like I said, guys, get drawing. You can help out the animals, and you go into the running to win one of these cartoons or the major prize. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff in here. There's something that's lolly-ish. There's another thing that's lolly-ish. And there's a heap of things that's lolly-ish because it's a lolly bag. So get in, help us support the animals, get drawing. And until next time, thanks for tuning in to this special live event. And see you next time. And let's all draw together. Thanks so much.